Talk about the new year. It means one thing for movies: awards.
And a great way to get yourself a little golden statue is to base your movie on a true story. Here with 3 worth checking out from Paul's trip to the movies, we want to welcome Paul McGuire Grimes to Nice to see you, buddy. Okay, so we're going to go to the theater first with All the Money in the World.
This is getting so much buzz right now because this is about the kidnapping of John Paul Getty III and how his kidnappers were going after that Getty oil money from his grandfather.
Okay, now this movie has been getting a lot of buzz for some negative reasons because Kevin Spacey was in the movie.
Yes.
And they had shot everything with him.
Shot everything. It was ready to be released December 22nd. When that scandal broke, Ridley Scott, the director, was like, I'm going to recast this, put Christopher Plummer in the role, and we're going to reshoot the movie, re-edit it, and keep that release date.
Can you believe that?
This is a technical question, but is Christopher Plummer then in a lot of scenes alone, or did they really assemble the co-stars, the cast?
The cast came back.
Michelle Williams came back, Mark Wahlberg came back, and if you didn't know, you would not suspect it at all. Like, it seems flawless, and he is brilliant in the movie. Like, he's got the history and the gravitas, and you learn to really hate John Paul Getty. Like, it's a powerful role.
Man, that's fantastic.
So is his the most standout role of all
I
the
would
cast
say so.
members?
Of the 3, I mean, I think Mark Wahlberg's really weak in it and miscast, but Michelle Williams is great. But this is Christopher Plummer's role.
So my kind of gauge for if a movie based on a true story is really good is if I'm obsessed with Googling more about it later, which is like what's happened when I watch The Crown. I just sit there and Google. Does this make you obsessed and more interested?
Yes, we went home and were wikiing and Googling all the history of the Getty family because the movie is really just about the kidnapping, and you know that the family has like a downfall. So we were like, what came next after this story?
Interesting.
And that was the research that we did with it.
Goodness gracious. All right, how many tickets?
So I'm giving it 4 out of 5. If you
Wow.
like true crime, kidnapping, mystery, suspense, you'll definitely like this movie.
All right, Tonya Harding. We've been saying her name a lot the last couple of weeks because of the new movie, I, Tonya. What'd you think?
I thought it was so much fun, and it really gives you a different perspective about who Tonya Harding is and what you think about her. So this movie really looks back at her childhood and how she grew up with this horribly abusive mother to try to become the best skater that she could, and what led to the attack on Nancy Kerrigan.
Well, and you know, when you think back to that attack and you think back to the drama of it, it sort of gets like oversimplified and it's been parodied so many times. Now, you said this movie is fun. I'm reading a dark comedy.
It is a dark comedy because it's treated like a mockumentary. So it's given that kind of documentary feel. So you hear everyone's perspective, hers, her mother's, the boyfriend that did the attack, and how they're different perspectives on what happened. And you just laugh. It's like a Coen Brothers movie. It's that kind of darkly funny Fargo type sense of humor.
I got it.
Yeah, it's that.
I've seen Margot Robbie in a couple of movies, and I thought that she's done a nice job. How did she do here?
She is excellent. Like, I think she could get a lot of Oscar buzz. She really makes you empathize with Tonya and what she went through, and she's just a firecracker in this.
And she met with Tonya, right?
Oh, yeah,
a lot.
Tanya's really
together,
supportive of this movie. And then her mother, Allison Janney, just give her the Oscar because she is the abusive mother that you would never want, and she just plays it so blunt and honestly.
Wow, Allison Janney.
Fabulous.
Okay, very good. Now we got one more.
Yeah.
A home release
This
is based on a true story. Oh, you gave it 4 out of 5 ticket stubs. Let's make sure we get to that.
Yes, the next movie is Stronger. You can rent it at home right now. This is a movie that somehow got missed in theaters, and I think everyone should see it. It's about the Boston Marathon bombing and Jeff Bowman, who became a double amputee and really the face of the bombing when his picture came out, and how he kind of became a face of what this was.
Oh, everybody remember that was the image that you remember seeing that day as you were going through and trying to figure out what exactly
happened. And he was kind of a private eye, and how he kind of became this public image, and how he kind of didn't want that, and how he had to deal with this. And that's Jake Gyllenhaal, who's phenomenal in the role. I mean, he's one of my favorites anyway, but he just challenges himself and gets you to feel what Jeff must have gone through. Tatiana Maslany is brilliant as well as his wife, and I like that the movie really gives her perspective and what she goes through, because I think sometimes the spouse disappears in these stories, and this movie really tells her story too.
And that's available to stream, to rent, whatever.
$5.99 on iTunes. Just get it, Elizabeth.
Too much, but whatever, I just pay it.
It's so good. You'll like it.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Okay, you can visit Paul's website. It's paulstriptothemovies.com to read his thoughts on more movies from 2017. And then you can always listen to Paul on the Colleen and Bradley Show on My Talk 1071. He visits them every Friday.
Jonathan.